There's a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from being the person everyone depends on, but also being the person no one truly sees. Growing up, you learn to stay small, quiet enough to not burden anyone, capable enough to make sure no one had to worry about you. You learned early on that staying out of the way was safer than needing care. Somewhere along the line, responsibility and independence became your personality. You became the emotional version of an autopilot system, reliable, invisible, and rarely cared for. That pattern, the compulsion to handle everything alone, that's not maturity. It's a leftover survival skill from growing up emotionally neglected. Children praised for being easy, low maintenance, or independent often learned early that expressing needs equals emotional risk. Hyperindependence usually begins in homes where being the easy kid was rewarded and having needs was quietly discouraged. You might have heard, "You're so mature for your age," or "You never complain." And in reality, that translates into "You learn to parent yourself." This isn't about villainizing your parents. It's about recognizing that emotional neglect doesn't always look like cruelty. Sometimes it's just absence. Children don't stop needing, they just stop asking. And over time, you became the CEO of self sufficiency before you can even reach the top shelf. Fast forward 20 years, and that skill set turns into an entire identity. You're the colleague who fixes everyone's mess, the friend who listens but never shares, the partner who's fine, even when you're unraveling. The problem isn't that you're strong, it's that you don't have a gear for vulnerability. Your nervous system registers dependence as danger. You want connection, but the moment someone gets close, your body starts to buffer like a slow internet connection. Your nervous system treats it like a computer virus. When you only know how to feel safe alone, love starts to feel like a risk. Support feels suspicious, and rest feels irresponsible. That's not personality, that's conditioning. It's what happens when your nervous system associates closeness with disappointment. When your nervous system learns that no one's coming, asking for help doesn't feel awkward, it feels unsafe. It feels like betraying the version of you that kept you alive. You crave being seen, but you keep dating people who need binoculars to notice you. Or maybe you find yourself the therapist within your friend group. You attract emotionally unavailable or self absorbed partners. You confuse being low maintenance with being lovable. Or you choose chaos because it feels comfortable. Eventually, you start calling isolation independence. You confuse being unbothered with being emotionally regulated. You take on too much, never ask for help, and burn out. But still, you get praised for your resilience. Hyperindependence isn't a personality flaw, it's the adult residue of emotional neglect. It's what happens when self resilience becomes armor. It's the quick, "I'm fine" comment, the instinct to fix before you feel, the guilt that shows up anytime someone tries to care for you. As a kid, not needing made you easier to love. As an adult, not needing makes you invisible. That invisibility quietly erodes your ability to connect, and intimacy is built alongside a wall of protection. This isn't about becoming needy. It's about remembering that interdependence is healthy. It's about teaching your body that connection can be safe. Healing starts when your body learns that being supported doesn't equate to danger. So try these practical reframes. Safety does not equal isolation. Love does not equal performance. And strength does not equal silence. So try letting someone bring you soup without apologizing. Say yes, thank you, instead of no, I got it. Admit you're tired without rushing to fix it. Let someone take care of a task when they offer. You're not expected to get this right the first time or even the 20th time. But with practice, you'll eventually notice that letting someone carry the grocery bags for you isn't a weakness at all. It's the quiet practice of allowing care, trust, and connection back to your life. Let's think of this like exposure therapy for emotional intimacy. Every time you say yes to safe support, your body updates the old software that said you're on your own or you're not good enough. You don't need to abandon strength. You just need to stop worshiping it. Strength is valuable, but if it's the only tool you utilize, everything starts to look like a battle. You can be capable and open. It's not a weakness, it's actually emotional maturity. True independence is being able to stand alone and reach out when you need to. So, the first step, call the pattern what it is. This isn't a flaw, it's a survival strategy. Notice your body. Where does your body say no before your mouth does? Name the fear. What threat does your nervous system anticipate if you accept support? Lower the stakes. Start with small yeses, a ride, a favor, or a check in, and then reinforce safety through repetition. 1, 2, 8, or 10 attempts won't completely do it, but with consistency, it rewires trust in your brain and builds new algorithms. Hyper independence once kept you safe, but if safety now costs you connection, it's time to renegotiate that contract. Start small. Say yes to something today that the old you would have turned down. Being strong isn't the problem, yet believing you are the only option is. Everything we just talked about, learning to receive help, softening the survival mode, letting connection feel safe, it all sounds beautiful in theory. But here's what actually gets in the way. That's perfectionism. That subtle voice that says, if I don't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. Or I'll let people in once I'm more healed, more ready, more worthy. That's the nervous system's other disguise, which is control. When you've spent years relying only on yourself, perfectionism feels like protection. But what it actually does, it keeps you frozen between doing everything alone and doing nothing at all. So if this conversation about hyper independence hits home, then watch my next video, Overcome Perfectionism and Procrastination. We'll break down how to move from overthinking and self-critique into real action and emotional momentum. I'll meet you there at the next video.